Breaking the news with the Chris and Andre Show.
Hey everybody, thanks for hanging out with us for Quick Hits. I'm Andre.
And I'm Chris.
Gosh. Anyway, Quick Hits is when we talk about the things that have happened in the news that caught our eye. You probably don't have a lot of time to take a look at them, but anyway, let's get into some Quick Hits.
All right, so first up, my favorite story from this week. Some guy goes and rents a Tesla in Echo Park and decides to see how far it can fly. Literally, like, floors it over this big hill, gets serious air, and then slams into two parked cars. Apparently, he was followed by an entire entourage of other Teslas behind him, and they, like, piled out, grabbed all their stuff, and then disappeared. The cops are on the lookout for him. LAPD has shared like the video and a whole bunch of information. I imagine it won't take long since apparently this dumbass or his friends decided to post videos on social media. There used to be a time in this country where you'd commit a crime and you'd keep it to yourself. Like, worst case scenario, you go back to the scene of the crime, but you try to blend in with everybody. Yeah, now it's all just like, look at this notoriety. I don't care if I go to jail.
Self-snitch. I think it's hilarious. I think it's like, and hilarious not because it was reckless, but how stupid are people getting? Like, why was that an idea? You rented the car. More than likely, something, even if it's not the social media stuff, but you rented the car. You're found. Self-snitch.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Yep, big time.
Next. Wells Fargo. This headline reads, Wells Fargo rejected half its black applicants in mortgage refinancing. Somebody keeps asking me, why do people keep bringing up things that have to do with race? Because the things keep happening. So if you'd stop making them happen, we wouldn't have to talk about it. I personally, even look at the charts in that article, I think there's probably more to get out of it than what they're presenting. So I'm not trying to bash Wells Fargo. I just think that they're probably doing something suspect that's going to get them more attention than what they want. So.
Yeah, whether it's intentional racism or not, like, it's just not a good look either way. I'm not saying that, like, they should just be blanket, like, approving refinances for people because they're black, like, but yeah, I don't know, Wells Fargo, like, it seems like they've got plenty going on. This is probably not something that they needed to pile on top of everything else that's happened in recent history for them, so.
The dangerous thing about percentages and charts, it's a percentage. So unless you have the total number of applicants, right, broken down by demographics, just the presentation of the data could be like, well, 50% or 47%, but if it's less numbers than everybody else and you have a group that applied, then it looks terrible. So
that's fair. It could be a smaller portion of the overall applicants were black, and so yes, 50% it's because it makes it sound like 50% of all applicants were black and were rejected. Is kind of how the headline reads. I know that that's not what it means, obviously, but still, I mean, like, it would be interesting to know, like, right, and maybe you saw it in the chart, I might have glanced over it, like, what was the percentage of white applicants that were rejected overall?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I think that we've talked about this before. It does two things. One, it brings up the same topic that we're trying to figure out how do we accommodate people that don't want to talk about it, and two, well, why does it keep happening? So, and then, actually, the second part of that is we don't want to create false rage or this false sense of rage at Wells Fargo without having all the facts. So shame on you, media, for presenting the story that way. But next.
All right. This just seems like a really bad idea to me. There is a geothermal energy company that is planning to drill 12.5 miles into the center of the earth to access geothermal energy. Like, typically we think of geothermal energy coming to the surface in the form of, like, geysers and hot springs and stuff like that. These guys are like, why bother going to the source when we can literally go to the source? how many sci-fi movies have we seen where they're like, let's drill to the center of the earth and see what happens? Like, they're probably going to find some celestial being that's been growing inside the planet all this time, just waiting for the population to get to it. Yeah, Godzilla, not Donkey Kong, but King Kong's underground, upside down world or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, Stranger Things, maybe they'll find the upside down there. Who knows?
Mario Brothers.
Yep.
Like,
there's a lot.
There's a lot of examples of why we should not be drilling to the center of the earth. I'm just.
Also, like, I just kept thinking, like, that fracking, right, has caused all sorts of problems, and they're just like, no, we're just gonna drill deeper, like, just deeper. And I know that fracking's like a completely different process. I don't need people coming at me about that, but I'm just saying, I really wish we'd put a little bit more thought into these things before we're just like, okay, let's do it. Like, hold my beer. That's what it feels like to me.
Next. Oh, man. So Vic Fangio, my dude, man, he's leaving Denver.
Left.
He's left. And I don't want to mess up this kid's name again. What is it? 100%.
Sua Cravens.
Sua Cravens. I think he got cut before the season started, if I remember correctly. So
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
He was a relatively high draft pick, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was a first or second round draft pick. So, like, a pretty decent player, but decided apparently to air all of his grievances on Twitter.
Dude, apparently Vic Fangio was kind of a dick. So
maybe they should have called him Dick Fangio.
See what you did there. Yeah, I thought it was funny, and then I had to get off Twitter. But apparently a few of the players can bring the receipts on that. So Vic, dude, I don't know where you're gonna land at, but yeah, I don't feel sorry for you. If you're a douchebag, you're a douchebag, and you're not even a good head coach.
Just look at Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
You're basically aligning and not that he like chose to do this, but he's ending up in the same types of conversations that they're having about Urban Meyer now in the way that he treated players. Like, that's not a position you want to be in at this point. Sorry, Vic.
Next.
Speaking of people being dicks, Ted Cruz. That's it. That's the end of the story. No. So nobody seems to know what he was doing in Montana. He flew through the Bozeman, or was leaving out of the Bozeman, Montana airport. I myself have actually flown into Bozeman. It is one of the like outdoor sporting capitals of the world. Yeah, so they.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say outdoor airport. I'm just like.
No. It's actually it's a decent airport. It's small, but it's decent. It was a nice airport. But they have a lot of like outdoor companies. A lot of companies that my company works with. No, I don't think REI is based out of there.
REI's
but
in Jersey, right?
Yeah, or they might Colorado. I don't know. But yeah, so Ted gets to the airport late. He misses the check-in for his flight. He's told that because it's spring break, it's going to be difficult for him to rebook. And of course, he has a very important meeting to get back to in DC because what are they? Oh yeah, that's right. They're doing the hearings for confirming the new Supreme Court justice. And Ted proceeds to get so upset that they apparently decided to call airport security over to just let him know, like, hey man, somebody with a gun is here, so you need to chill the f out. And the best part of this story to me is that the security guard had no idea who this guy was until well after, when somebody's like, that was U.S. Senator Ted Cruz, right?
I wish I could have been that guard. I would like lock him up. I just would have like beat him up or something. I don't know. He has a punchable face. I don't know why his face is so punchable. But
kudos to the person behind the counter recording the whole interaction.
Yeah. I've got to check that out. I didn't get a chance to read that yet, but I just want to see how, like, he just thinks he's so important. He's a shit.
Supposedly the words, "Do you know who I am?" came out of his mouth at one
Really?
point. And obviously the answer was no. And even if I did, don't care. But he was wearing a mask.
Wow, a Texas mask?
No, this one said "come and get it," apparently referencing the Second Amendment. Or "come and take it" or something like that. I don't know.
That sounds kind of pervy.
It did sound kind of pervy. Yeah.
Last up. Competitors sue gas station for setting prices too low. Oh my gosh, I am so tired of hearing about gas prices, but kudos to this company for saying, you know what, we probably have inventory. We probably don't need to jack the price up 80 cents. I myself personally have seen prices swing 60 cents in 2 days downward, which is insane. I doubt we are going through that much supply that quickly. So I'm on the side of the too low gas station.
One of my favorite parts from this story is the fact that all of the gas stations that got together and sued this one gas station, the gas station responded, they're not actually people that we consider to be our competitors. We're competing with the Costco that's 6 miles away from us, who is selling gas for 10 cents cheaper than this guy was.
Wow. That's what's up. That's what's up.
I feel like that's a pretty baller response. Y'all aren't even our competitors, so just hold your water.
just take a beat, calm down. It's not that important. It's not you I'm getting at.
Exactly.
That's hilarious. Wow.